spicy water. Okay, hello my beautiful buds. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy, and if you care about that, I love you. Let's be friends. If you don't care, I mean, let's get into the video, I guess. I'm just kidding. I love everybody that cares or not. Anyway, so today I wanted to talk about some of the plants that are trending. I kind of hate that term because, full disclaimer, all plants are pretty awesome and subjective in terms of whether or not you like them, and I don't like to promote like a consumerist mentality, like choose the plants that you like, you know? But if you're curious like I am about the plants that have been getting a lot of traction lately or that have been popping up all over the Instagram and social media and what have you, I don't know, if you're curious like I am, because I like to look at trends, look into Google Trends, look into what's been searched a lot on YouTube, people have been buying, what's on people's wish lists. I don't know. I find, wow, the sun is coming out. Hey sis. Okay, sorry. If you're interested like I am in that kind of stuff, this video's for you. Now, the research for this is kind of tricky because a lot of it is based on what I have personally seen in my own echo chamber section of the internet. So, I mean, I could be wrong and your experience might be a little bit different from mine. And obviously a lot of these plants are like currently popular, like they're not necessarily only rising in popularity, but you know, a lot of these are really popular right this second, but they, you know, are continuing on an upward slope. They're not going. Collectively, we seem to want these plants a lot. It's from my own personal, what I've seen. Like, obviously this isn't formal research. Like, I'm not going to make a works cited of all the Instagram pages I visited because that would be excessive, but it's just a general sense of what I'm seeing. And if I miss a plant, let me know. If there are plants that you think are awesome. All right, but without further ado, let us commence. All right, so the first plant or kind of plant that I've been seeing a lot would be anything with a fuzzy stem. You know, like any philodendron that has a fuzzy stem. Now there is a plant that's on the rise that is literally called the philodendron fuzzy petiole, and it's like, to my understanding, they thought it was a varicosum because the varicosum is another one with a fuzzy petiole that everyone is wanting. That was scary. It's something everybody's wanting. And then I would say another one would be the philodendron squamiferum. I've never really thought about how to say that. You know, any of those. So people tend to like them. Some people find them creepy, like they remind people of tarantula legs or something, and I'm sorry if I triggered you or something just now. But they're really, really fascinating, and I happened to just actually purchase a tiny itty bitty little bitty bit. Here, it's a, I'll have to feature this in another video, but I'll give you a little sneak peek. I did get myself a tiny itty bitty squamiferum. I don't care what you call it, it's fine. It has the tiny itty bittiest fuzziness. If you could see it, it's so cute. But anyway, yeah, people tend to be really attracted to that feature because it's so unique and interesting. So yeah, a lot of people seem to be raving about their fuzzy plants. The next plant that I've actually been seeing a lot would be pitcher plants. So I think there's a lot of different kinds, but in general, they look very alien-like and people tend to enjoy it. I feel like people are talking about it on TikTok, but I don't have TikTok. I just happened to hear about it. I've seen some more popular YouTubers getting them hands on pitcher plants or monkey cups or whatever. Nepenthes, I think is the name. I'm not perfectly familiar with pitcher plants, to be fair. I've always been a little bit intimidated by any of those carnivorous plants. I would say Venus flytraps as well might also be kind of popular, but I feel like in the plant community, the carnivorous plant of choice tends to be the pitcher plant above the Venus flytrap. But again, it's kind of similar to the fuzzy petiole thing where people are like, ooh, they're gravitating towards something that's kind of unique, different. I heard that pitcher plants only very recently came onto the market. Not very recently as in like in the last year, but very recently as in, you know, compared to your classic pothos or monstera or whatever, like they're more available than they ever used to be now. Like people are actually making them. Like companies and nurseries are actually producing them, which is kind of cool. So this next plant, I'm pretty sure has been popular for a while, but that I think I've collectively seen appear on Instagram a lot more recently is the Begonia maculata whitey. Now, Costa Farms did come out with a Begonia maculata that I almost purchased that doesn't have the red back, and it's like a weird hybrid or something. And if you have that plant, no shade. I mean, my tummy just growled. Anyway, so nope. I don't know if you could hear that. I'm sorry, I didn't eat breakfast. I know that's a bad example, but your girl has a baby and I was very preoccupied with her this morning, so I did not feed myself. Anyways, so yeah. Begonia maculata, Begonia maculata. No shade if you have like the type that doesn't have a red back, or that if you like that one. I mean, I think it's a perfectly good plant. It's awesome. But specifically, the whitey eye is the one that has that red back to it. If you put it in front of a window, just the light shines through and it looks red and it's beautiful. So I'd say it's like the quintessential Instagram plant right now, in my personal opinion. It's a go-to begonia for people. Like, if you're not into begonias, chances are you still might want to get a Begonia maculata whitey eye, just because it's so ubiquitous. Like, it's all over the place and it's really beautiful. I've heard that it's relatively easy to take care of. I mean, I have mine and it's been doing fine, but I haven't had it long enough to definitively say whether or not it's an easy plant. So, I mean, it's just been chilling so far, but I don't know, she might. I hope not. I'm taking care of her. But all right, I'm going to talk about two plants at once. They're both philodendron, and I feel like they're both kind of, I don't know, in my mind, when I'm browsing through, I feel like, again, I could be wrong, but they're both rare philodendron that seem to be on a lot of people's wish lists, and in general, just there's a lot of attention to them and a lot of people really like them. And what am I doing with my hands? I don't know. But I would say the philodendron bilietiae and the philodendron Florida Beauty, they're both plants that are on a lot of people's wish lists. They're plants that a lot of people, like, there's some people that totally might have them, and if you do, chill, great, that's so good. But in general, I've just noticed them on wish lists because they are on the pricier side and you kind of have to invest in them. I think the Florida Beauty is substantially more expensive than the bilietiae, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. That's just kind of off the top of my head. Hang on, I kind of want to search that really fast just because fact checking. So the bilietiae. Yeah, bilietiae seems to be at like 100 to 300 range depending on the size. And then the Florida Beauty price. Yeah, the Florida Beauty seems to be closer to like 200 to 700, 600. So the Florida Beauty is generally more expensive, which makes sense. I mean, it's got variegation and it has that yellowy, creamy variegation. It's almost like the aria, whatever, which also supposedly has been getting more and more popular. Like, a lot of people thought that monstera aria, whatever. Am I saying that right? I don't care enough to search, but you know what I mean. The yellow variegation as opposed to the white variegation. That's another thing that people have been like, oh, you know, it's probably gonna be more popular. I'm not sold on it being more popular than white variegation at this point, because come on, white variegation. And also, for the record, I don't think I'm going to talk about the Monstera aloe or anything in this video, because we all know. We all know. We don't need to be told about the Monstera aloe. But I don't know, that was a huge tangent. But yeah, Billietiae and Florida Beauty seem to be kind of an it plant in the last few months. At least I've heard a lot of people talking about them. So take that, with a grain of salt. Is that the... Do what you will with that information, or with that thought. A lot of Syngonium in general have been getting more popular. Like examples, okay, the Syngonium erythrophyllum has suddenly kind of blown up on my feed personally, and maybe that's just because I like it personally, but it feels a lot more known, a lot more people are gravitating towards it. It's a very unique looking Syngonium. It's not your average Syngonium podophyllum, you know. I don't know. What other? Oh, the red spot and the pink splash or whatever. Those are both also Syngonium that a lot of people seem to want or desire. I'm sure there are more Syngonium, like the mottled one. There's probably a better name for it that is not coming to my mind, but a fair amount of Syngonium are like, hi, we exist and we're really pretty and we want you to buy us. I would say like the itty bitty small leafed Hoya, like the Serpens and the Mathilde, are also, I would say, as far as Hoya go, again, I'm not super well versed in Hoya, just admitting it, because I feel like there are lots of Hoya that are always coming out and on rotation, and you kind of have to be like on it to know what's the it Hoya. I like Hoya, but I tend to gravitate towards the more common Hoya. But as kind of a bystander, the one that's kind of slightly outside of the Hoya circle, the Mathilde and the Serpens seem to be kind of leaking out of people that love Hoya and leaking into... Does this make sense? Okay, I feel like when it comes to houseplant people, there are people that are like Hoya heads. You know, they're like all about Hoya, which Hoya, they're awesome. You go love your frickin' Hoya. But then the rest of the houseplant community like also likes Hoya, but not enough to like be in on all of the Hoya trends and like what's coming out. That's just my take on it. But the Hoya Serpens and Hoya Mathilde have been kind of leaking out of that Hoya head territory and permeating the rest of the houseplant community. When it comes to expensive Hoya, I think the houseplant community outside of like the Hoya people that want all of the rare expensive Hoya, the general like, oh yeah, I like all plants, you know, like me. I like all plants, but I'm not like specifically a Hoya person. This is a really long way of trying to say this, but basically I'm trying to say, I feel like the Hoya Hindu rope is kind of like this, especially the variegated version or Mauna, or there are people that aren't Hoya people that like that, and then people that aren't Hoya people are gravitating towards the Mathilde and the Serpens, and they're slightly more expensive or rare Hoya, but like they're pretty mainstream at this point, you know. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but I think you know what I mean. I think you know what I mean. There are rarer Hoya, but when it comes to the Hoya that has kind of drifted into the mainstream area, Mathilde and Serpens, those itty bitty little leaved Hoyas, people seem to like a lot. Okay, I'm getting tired, so I'm probably not gonna talk too much longer. I have a very long list. Like I'm probably only halfway through my list, but this is too much, girl. Hi, son, again. It's too much. So I'm only gonna do a couple more. And if you wanna see more, or if you have suggestions for part 2, just let me know if you're even interested. So I know there are a lot of cactus that people are liking. I'm going to be the first one to admit I'm not well versed in cactus. I've only owned maybe 2 or 3 cacti in my life, but it was very early on in my plant journey. Within the last couple of months, I got rid of like the only cactus that I had because the cats were eating them. What? Which is very masochistic of them, and I didn't want them to do that. So Bye. Sorry. But I think cacti are really awesome, and there are a few that I would like to maybe get one day. Another factor is light. I'm afraid of them not getting enough light, which I like them enough that I would want them, but not enough to like get a whole grow light system set up for them, so sorry. One cactus that I think I actually might kind of want to get and that I've been seeing around a lot is the monkey tail cactus. Oh my gosh, look at it. It's so cute. Like, it's so cute. I don't have much else to say about it, but it's a freaking cute cactus, okay? Okay. Again, I could talk about like 10 more plants at least that are popular right now or rising in popularity that I've been seeing more often than I did before. But I think I'm gonna have to stop it at that because I need to eat breakfast. Okay, sun, you're not on my side right now. Like, I like it when the sun's in my face, but not like this. I have a coffee and a LaCroix. I just spilled LaCroix on myself. I don't know why I changed the angle. I think I was getting bored. Also, say hi to my laptop that has a lot of things on it. Okay, I know I changed the angle and that's awkward and strange, and you can see the ugliness that is that right now because that is being rearranged. Also, I have some plants in quarantine because this is a really long-winded way of saying bye. Let me know about plants that you think are trending or that deserve to be trending. I don't know. I like hearing your guys' opinions about, again, this is all only in my experience. I have to have that caveat, just like, and I could be wrong on things. I totally admit that. But based on what I've seen, these are hot plants. So yeah, I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye.